Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red with green, officially weighing 125 1/2 pounds. His professional record stands at 24 victories, including 14 wins by knockout, with 4 defeats from San Luis Potosi, Mexico. He's the featherweight champion of Mexico and WBC, US NBC featherweight champion, the challenger, Romulo Koasicha. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with yellow, official weight 125 1/2 pounds. After hundreds of amateur victories and capturing 2 Olympic gold medals, he now has a professional record consisting of 4 victories with 2 KOs, only 1 defeat from Akraman, Ukraine, the reigning and defending WBO Featherweight Champion of the World, Vasyl Lomachenko.
Good. Clear the ring, 1-1. Okay, gentlemen, you had your instructions in the dressing room. Just going to remind you now, when you hear me say stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Gentlemen, let's do this.
Yesterday in the fighter meeting, as we were all kind of waxing poetic about how amazing Lomachenko is, he told us, I don't like it when you guys tell me that. I have not proven that I'm one of the best pound for pound. It's a lot of pressure you're putting on me, and I want to prove it. I want the opponents. The issue is going to be for Lomachenko. Tonight, if he looks as he did the last time out, how are you going to get the top fighters in the ring with him before there is economic demand?
And it almost sounded as though what he was saying to us was, how am I going to get top opposition when you guys keep saying I'm already the best? Please give me a chance to prove it.
Well, on paper, you know, if you had to put it on paper, you still got to put Ward on top of the list because of the opposition that he's faced. But looking at this kid, you know, watch him fight, watch him win fights with one hand. You know, you just see a lot. You know the potential is there. So,
two-time Olympic gold medalist, and one of them was the Val Barker Award that he won, the outstanding fighter in the Olympic Games. Almost like saying this is the best pound-for-pound amateur in the world. In fact, he was considered one of the best pound-for-pound amateurs of all time.
Now, Roy, Vasyl Lomachenko can attack or can counter. He has all the skills to do both. I think he's more comfortable as a counterpuncher, meaning that the better the opposition, the better he might look as he goes along.
Yeah, it is, Jim, but the thing is he's an aggressive counterpuncher, which means that a lot like Chocolatito, he stays right there in your face, keeps the pressure on you, makes you punch, and then he counters that.
Lomachenko has landed a couple of jabs, a couple of quick right hooks, left hand down the middle. There's another straight jab. Koasicha seems to be a little bit careful early on as he gets a look at what Lomachenko can do. Now Koasicha beginning to unfurl the jab.
Lomachenko's command of distance is amazing. He's a southpaw who frequently, as you see right there, his head comes within 6 inches of his opponent's head. They're moving together, and yet the opponent's head doesn't clash with his.
Hasn't been butted yet, with the sole possibility of some butts against, of course, Orlando Salido, and Salido butts everybody. But there's been no cut, no incident yet, which affected a fight. And of course, so often, when a southpaw fighter fights against a conventional stance fighter, their heads will naturally come together. It's not happening with Vasyl.
The only thing that Vasyl has to worry about, though, Jim, is he does have a lot of problems with his hands already. And having those problems, sometimes in a big fight like that, if you hurt a hand, it could cost you down the line, because a good fighter like a Rigondeaux, if you hurt a hand only is one-handed with him, you give him a great chance to pull out a victory over you. So he will have to be concerned about that as he moves up.
But those who expect the world of Lomachenko would say, well, what other fighter is better equipped to win fights with one hand?
Так, перчатки. Вася, передняя, задняя, вот сейчас.
1-2.
Повтор. Не забывай.
Combinations,
повтор,
1-2.
понял?
And repeat.
Подтягивай.
Step to the side.
Потянул,
1-2.
повтор.
Feign him.
Потянул, повтор. И оставайся на движении. Ты
Throw
пробил,
combination.
пошел к нему и стоишь там. Сделал движение.
You're doing good.
Ты стоишь.
Just throw a combination and move. Gotta get. Let go of that right hand. Let go. Let go. Don't have too much respect for him.
Suéltate, suéltate, suéltate.
Let go. Loosen up.
Métele más la derecha.
All right, get that right hand in there.
Koasicha's corner asking him not to be so respectful. Lomachenko in round one landed 15 out of 49 punches and limited Koasicha to 5 landed punches out of 53 thrown. The extremely fast-handed Gary Russell, a southpaw like Lomachenko, was given credit by CompuBox for landing 10% of his punches.
And Gary Russell in his very next fight against Johnny Gonzalez showed you his quality. He's a special kind of fighter, and Lomachenko totally took him to school, won almost every round in spite of what one of the judges' scorecards said.
And I think you upset Lomachenko when you told him in the fighter meetings that you think Gary Russell got better. He didn't like to hear that too well.
Good body shots by Lomachenko.
As Lomachenko got better after the Salido fight, it seems, right?
He did. And I'm really a little distraught because I really want to see Andre Ward perform again. Because having these guys come up, you want to see him defend his pound-for-pound title because of the opposition. He is #1 man, pound for pound. But when he doesn't get to perform, he doesn't get a chance to put his check in the box to show why he should be mentioned at the top of that list.
So the injury to Ward was described as swelling in the knee. And my question to you, Roy, would be, is that the kind of injury that occurs because of the long stretches of inactivity in his career?
All depends. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's an injury that occurs from the long amount of work in your career. I mean, sometimes me, when I jog 3 and 4 days in a row now, my knees swell up. So you never know.
Looks to me as though Lomachenko is not that concerned about what's coming back at him in this fight, and so he's been hit once or twice already.
Well, Koasicha is not a bad fighter either, Max. He's kind of smart. He's game. He's not just giving in.
But ordinary so far in his career. By that I mean world-class, yes, but a regular world-class fighter. Whereas Lomachenko's shown kind of next-level world-class ability.
Koasicha comes from a relatively obscure community in Mexico named San Luis Potosi in the Veracruz area. And almost all of his fights have taken place there, so he hasn't had a chance to prove himself against top opposition. You can see the number of power punches landed in the fight beginning to figure heavily in Lomachenko's favor. This has been a fairly careful boxing exhibition so far for Lomachenko, though if it goes on round by round and he decides that he's not in any danger from Koasicha's power punches, he may open up and try to look more spectacular.
He may have taken a page out of Max's Triple G book and just say, you know what, let me let a guy touch me or two every now and then to look vulnerable so I can get a big fight.
Max and some other ring critics believe that Golovkin may have allowed Willie Monroe Jr. to hit him in some rounds to attempt to lure the opposition or the potential opposition into coming in against him. So it's not out of the question that Lomachenko would do the same. Immediately following tonight's live boxing, stick around for the premiere of episode 1 of 24/7 Cotto Canelo. We'll take you into the camps of both Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez as they prepare for their upcoming showdown. The second and final installment premieres on November 19. November 21 on HBO pay-per-view. It's the live fight between Cotto and Canelo, two of boxing's biggest stars facing off with Cotto's lineal middleweight championship at stake. Here's a look at Sergey Kovalev. One of the most frequent ringsiders among all the prominent fighters in the sport. Obviously, he's a fan and comes to a lot of big fights.
And he has a chance to prove his pound-for-pound status if he is indeed on a collision course with Andre Ward.
And they're contractually on a collision course, but injuries, of course, could interrupt the momentum of that. By contractually on a collision course, I mean that both Kovalev and Andre Ward have signed contracts, which ultimately would lead to a meeting between the two, tentatively scheduled sometime late in 2016. Round 3 of scheduled 12. Vasyl Lomachenko in the white trunks with gold trim against Romulo Koasicha, who decides for a moment to go after Lomachenko. But Lomachenko steps away, steps aside, hits him back with some counter punches.
With Lomachenko, it's not any one thing he does, it's everything he does. He's able to control distance, use his hand speed, use his footwork, punch with power when he wants to, go to the body, go to the head, fight on the inside or out.
Excellent defense. Does look like he has a little mouse under that right eye, though.
Yes, it does.
Probably from that hook right there from Koasicha.
Good left hook by Koasicha inside.
I think he's landed that a couple of times in this fight already. And he does have on the Mexican glove, the Reyes, which is supposedly the puncher's glove, so.
Yeah, but after insisting to us yesterday that he wanted to crowd Lomachenko and fight him on the inside, the last couple of rounds, Koasicha's been doing a lot of walking away. And now here comes Lomachenko, stalking him and looking for it. And he hammers Koasicha into the corner with a hard left hand.
Sometimes that firepower will make you do different things, Jim. Sometimes you plan to come in and walk down the barrel of that fire, but when you feel that shotgun, it makes you back up a little bit.
Now Koasicha seems inclined to want to move forward again.
He's game. And he's not out here to lose. He's really taking some good chances.
Excellent uppercut by Lomachenko with the right hand.
Koasicha is being dominated here. He was losing to Lee Selby in Wales and was able to do certain things in that fight at times that looked like, okay, he's not out of this fight. He has not been able to do that against Lomachenko so far.
Not at all.
And ultimately, Koasicha was given credit for winning only one round against Lee Selby. Selby is now a title holder in the featherweight division, one of the guys whom Lomachenko might conceivably fight down the road, although there's a political division which divides them at this moment.
Roy and I were watching some video of Lomachenko as a child amateur, clearly imitating Roy Jones, who was obviously his boxing idol at the time. And there, Roy, he showed a little Roy flash. Hands down.
Shows a lot of it, Max.
Tim Bradley, for the first time in the dressing room prior to a fight with trainer Teddy Atlas. Atlas with a colorful history, training other fighters, mostly heavyweights. Atlas, of course, with an equally colorful history as an expert commentator on ESPN's boxing telecast. And seemingly totally in his wheelhouse, as happy as he can be, trying to teach Timothy Bradley new things at the relatively advanced age of 31. That's Bradley's age, not Teddy's. And there's Brandon Rios, tonight's opponent for Bradley. He was truly intimidating and dangerous as a lightweight, but he's moved up to 147 pounds, hasn't been able to show the same kind of power here at the welterweight limit, although he did have a third-round knockout earlier this year against the woefully underprepared Mike Alvarado. CombiBox numbers on punches in the third round, and this is what we've come to expect as a Lomachenko round. He was 33 out of 79. Koasicha 9 out of 58. Lomachenko with 26 power punches connected in that round. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
You know, Jim, a round like that, in all honesty, you really could have scored 10-8 in favor of Vasyl Lomachenko. I mean, you know, he won that third round so handily. I've got a 3-0 30-27, Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, Jim, I think what impresses me the most about Lomachenko is the way he snaps that right hand. I mean, the guy's a southpaw, you know? You don't see many southpaws can snap the right hand the way he does. He throws a billion combinations, but he's one of the most ambidextrous guys I've ever seen in my life, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Fabulous skills and two great hands. 3-0, Lomachenko.
I love watching Lomachenko, but the question is, given his style, which is not a seek and destroy Gennady Golovkin type of style, given the fact that he doesn't speak English and he got a relatively late start in his pro career over here, already in his late 20s, will he be able to create the kind of fan interest among casual boxing fans that will create the financial incentives for top opponents to get in the ring with him? And he has the kind of style that's right on the border. It's sensational if you really love boxing. The question will be for the more casual fans, is it sensational? Is this sensational enough if you're not necessarily crazy about boxing to want to see this guy fight?
Does speak a lot of English, Max, as we found in the fighter meeting, is working on learning his English, and the problem with a person like him is we have to have a fighter that people know of in that weight division that he can relate to. If you don't have that, then he's going to find himself in a similar situation as Triple G's in right now. Triple G has to have the winner of Canelo and Cotto, or it's going to do us no good. We still not going to put him on the top of the pound-for-pound list because he ain't beat nobody. So they got to have somebody to come up to give them a reason to say, oh, he beat that guy.
Look
now
at that footwork. Look at the way he stepped around there to create that punching angle. You don't see many fighters with the capability of even thinking of that, much less doing it. Let me boil down, if I can, a little bit of what Max said to one simple question. Does he make it look too easy?
It is that easy for him, Jim. You know, it's like, now y'all must have forgot. I just make him look like nobody.
Yeah. and this has the feel of a sparring session in a sense, but Lomachenko, one of the reasons that the purists really love him is he won't get reckless. Look at that. Selling out for a knockout. He's going to continue to box properly.
Under 395 amateur fights, that's what that teaches you, to be disciplined and be the same every time.
Got to throw more punches. Come on, there's no reason for you to just stop, stand there. Don't let him think. You always let him think. Come on, you got to throw punches in there. You got to be careful there with his counter punches you're on the way out. Don't be super overconfident. Keep your guard up.
Растянул.
You gotta repeat your combination.
Перехват. Покажи отсюда сбоку.
You got counter.
Сбоку.
Left uppercut, right hook.
Разверни в левую сторону. Ты что делаешь?
And then move to the side.
Под правую.
And do the right hook.
Romulo Koasicha's great-grandfather was Japanese. And you can see that in the outline of his very handsome face. And you can also hear it in the way that his name is pronounced. That's a Japanese pronunciation, not a Spanish pronunciation, Koasicha.
When asked about that, he says he honors his Japanese heritage. It makes him feel special.
Watch your heads.
And I asked him why. He said the discipline. That there's a discipline in the culture that he relates to and likes to use in his own boxing career.
Very interesting, by the way. Harold Letterman, in giving his score earlier, had mentioned that some of these rounds are so one-sided you can consider awarding a 10-8 round to Lomachenko, and Harold just did it. Unofficially, round number 4 was a 10-8 round on Harold's scorecard. And as the fight goes on, there's no question that because of his superior technique, Lomachenko is putting distance between himself and Koasicha.
He threw Lomachenko a straight left-hand power shot to the body that was so quick and short and excellent with Koasicha's back in the corner about 20 or 30 seconds ago. Very few fighters in boxing capable of or even attempt to execute a shot like that.
Best thing about him is his footwork. You see his feet right now? His feet always stay prepared to either offend or defend. That's the most beautiful thing about his whole style. As long as his feet are like that, he can be quicker than everybody else like that right there. He can make moves and pivot around. He can do anything he wants to because of his great footwork.
And his head movement.
Break!
That footwork is so impressive that a sophisticated boxing observer like Max Kellerman likes to rhapsodize about his front foot.
Well, if you watch Lomachenko's right foot, his lead foot, he probes, he sends it out, probing constantly to get position. As soon as he gets it, the hands go. In this fighting maybe a little more flat-footed actually than has been the case.
And we can't take nothing away from Koasicha because he's giving us the best effort that he possibly can give us. He's not giving up. He's not laying down. He's trying, taking some hammering punches and still trying. Because that right hook was thunderous on his ear right then.
But when Koasicha's corner gives him instructions, urgently saying to him, why are you letting him think? Why don't you go after him and stuff like that? These are the kind of moments when you realize that the fighter is probably thinking, you go try it.
Exactly.
Lomachenko is a good puncher who can score spectacular knockdowns because of the hand speed and the accuracy and the timing. But I wouldn't call him a very heavy-handed puncher. He's just a solid puncher under normal circumstances, not a Kovalev or a Triple G or some of the other
I think he's way more a boxer than a puncher.
Yeah, Eastern European standouts we've seen recently.
November 28th, join us at 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time for a gigantic matchup in the heavyweight division. His longtime champion, Vladimir Klitschko, all 6 feet 5 and close to 250 pounds of him, takes on undefeated challenger Tyson Fury, who's 6 feet 9 inches tall and 260 pounds. If you miss our afternoon broadcast, we'll replay the fight that night at 10:15 p.m.
You got to throw punches. You just simply have to throw more punches. Come on, this is at 6 already. You got to go. You got to press. When you stand there, you let him go. Respond.
Here you see, Max, why his punches don't seem to be as thunderous. Right, he throws the left hand, but he doesn't fully commit to it. It's just like a pop shot. So he stopped it right there on the target. If he had gone through with it and known it was going to land, he could make it a heavy-handed punch as well. He just didn't choose to because he wasn't sure of the target.
And you guys have talked about his mastery of distance. That replay was a perfect example. You saw him land the straight left hand, and without even moving his head, watched Koasicha's right hand, or left hand, I should say, sail right past his chin. He had the distance gauged. CompuBox numbers through the 5th round. Lomachenko 139 out of 326. His percentage is rising. Koasicha 40 out of 291. Lomachenko with an 85-26 edge in power shots. He is dominating Romulo Koasicha through 5 rounds as, frankly, we expected him to do.
I really would wish, Max, the best way we could see this is if Chocolatito was closer to his weight, that would be a match made in heaven. You hear me?
Well, I mean, the guy who's in between both of their weights is Rigondeaux can, you would think, move down for Chocolatito a little bit if they were meet halfway and could move up for Lomachenko. And in fact, Bob Arum, Top Rank, has expressed interest this week, especially, believes that maybe that fight could be made. Lomachenko and Rigondeaux after this.
And we asked Lomachenko about fighting Guillermo Rigondeaux yesterday, and he said, I've heard so much about it. There have been attempted negotiations several times. I don't believe that he really has any interest in fighting me, so I no longer have the same excitement or interest in it. That may be a ploy. That may be a way of saying to us and to the world, come on, get him motivated here. Get him to turn around and come fight.
Let him go, let him go, let him go. Waterloo. Waterloo, there you go.
Yeah, beating a boxer like Gary Russell, that's great. He's like a brilliant, medical student versus a guy like Rigondeaux. That's like beating a brilliant professor, a Nobel Prize winner. Well, he's a different level of boxing.
Lomachenko won 2 Olympic gold medals. We've mentioned that on 2 or 3 occasions. Rigondeaux won 2 Olympic gold medals. Never before, supposedly, never before in the professional ranks have 2 fighters who both won 2 Olympic gold medals faced off against each other.
The combined amateur record would be something like 600 wins against 5 losses. Right. Something like that.
What a record.
Bizarre.
Lomachenko in this round, it seems as though, okay, I studied this guy for 5 rounds, and now I can kind of do whatever I want.
Lomachenko fought on the undercard of Mayweather-Pacquiao on May 2. Some say that he stole the show that night. He was tremendously impressive in scoring a knockout win. He himself would have liked to have been in the ring fighting again in 3 or 4 months, but of course, as we've mentioned, it's not that tremendously easy for Top Rank to find matchups for you. Most of the period of time between then and now was spent in Ukraine.
Ты попал. Я думал, он тебе попал.
Did he hit you on the body?
Точно.
What did you tell me?
Сколько ты начинаешь выцеливать?
You're doing okay. Everything goes through. All your punches go through. Whatever you try, everything goes.
Поджал.
So just keep pressuring him.
Разверни в левую сторону, под правую.
Come on, it's halfway through the fight. It's halfway through. Let's go. You've got to throw more punches. That's what we're here for. We're good, we're good. Come on, you let him think.
Koasicha has a look of disappointment on his face, Roy. Is his spirit broken?
Yeah, his spirit is being broken because they're telling him to throw more punches, but it is nothing in front of him for him to punch at. When he gets ready to throw more punches, Lomachenko is either going out to the left side or the right side.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I got it 6-0, 60-53 of Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, Jim, I mean, he's hit him with everything but the referee already. I got to tell you, amazing performance. He's really beating him up badly. I'm saying to myself, what's Robert Byrd thinking? If I were a referee, I seriously would start thinking about stopping this fight. It's very one-sided. I mean, Lomachenko has shown incredible skills, landed 1 billion punches, and you wonder how much the human body can take. Koasicha has taken an awful lot of shots. You wonder if Bird's going to stop the fight. 6-0, Vasyl Lomachenko.
Well, certainly if Lomachenko had the kind of power that Gennady Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev have, this would be over by now.
Yeah.
But of course, they would love to have his kind of skill.
And speed. And that's the difference. He throws quick punches and doesn't commit to them like they do because he doesn't have to. He hits you so many times that he can hit you as hard as he wants when he gets ready. He does it more with an accumulation, but by choice, not because he can't punch like they can.
I find Lomachenko very entertaining. I think this stuff is really entertaining. How he got to this moment in this fight so far has been entertaining. Will casual boxing fans feel the same way?
And now he's giving you a little bit of the Roy Jones imitation as he bolos the left hand before firing his left-hand power shot.
You know, I gotta love it, Jim.
Well, he's fighting in front of his idol, and he loves to show off.
Pick him up, pick him up.
And I'm like Harold, the referee is going to have to start looking really close to Koasicha now because he's being outclassed, he's being punished. You don't want to ruin him, but he's still trying.
Yeah, Koasicha's throwing just enough shots, just hard enough to keep Lomachenko, I don't know if you want to say honest, but, you know, from just going all out to stop him right now. Pretty close to it, though.
Yeah, I think it'll be a body shot shortly.
Lomachenko's first professional fight against Jose Ramirez here in Las Vegas was a 4-round knockout, and he produced knockdowns on body shots in the first and fourth rounds. In fact, most of the knockdowns he's produced as a professional fighter have been with body shots. And you saw the buggy whip to the belly right there with the left hand.
And that was a thunderous right hook, Jim. Pound for pound, just as hard as anybody throwing hooks in the game today. Just that he's a small gap. He and Rigondeaux have that kind of punch of power.
Right there.
Exactly.
That's all.
He even knows the clock. And Bradley warming up in his dressing room. Bradley, in the eyes of some, is auditioning tonight for a chance to meet Manny Pacquiao April 9 in what is regarded as the possible last fight of Pacquiao's career. Bradley and the people around him say, not even thinking about it, not concerned with it. They seem to have the expectation that Terrence Crawford is going to get the assignment of fighting Manny Pacquiao April 9. And here's Brandon Rios, who fought Manny Pacquiao in Macau in Pacquiao's comeback fight after the unexpected and, in the eyes of some, totally bogus loss to Tim Bradley here in Las Vegas. And Brandon Rios was simply outquicked and outclassed by Manny Pacquiao. So, by that comparison, Tim Bradley's a big favorite over Brandon Rios tonight. CompuBox numbers in the 7th round. Lomachenko was 54 of 92 to 6 of 57 for Koasicha. And for the second time in the fight, our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman, scored it as a 10-8 round.
You know, if it feels like in recent months, we've sat here and often said, wow, look at the heart on this opponent who's taking a big beating. In a Terrence Crawford fight or a Triple G fight or a Kovalev or a Chocolatito or a Lomachenko fight, it's because these guys are really good, still in the building phase of their career in terms of exposing them to the general public. And normal fighters simply don't offer enough resistance to make it a fight, not against the fighters I just named. And here we have another example of that. They need to be in with another special kind of fighter.
Oh, what a body shot with the left hand.
In order to see a real matchup.
Our Russian interpreter has told us that between rounds, Lomachenko's father, Anatoly Lomachenko, his trainer since he was a baby boy, basically, has told him, okay, You've landed enough now. He's not dangerous anymore. Go ahead, open up, and take him out. So let's see if he can follow that instruction.
Jim, to allude to what you were saying about the Tim Bradley process with Pacquiao, you know, the other question is, a lot of people want to see tonight, can Teddy Atlas do to Tim Bradley what Freddie Roach did to Miguel Cotto?
Right.
If that happens, he may become a viable opponent to fight Pacquiao again.
Because that would provide a new narrative, a fresh narrative, that would make that a more interesting matchup.
Especially with him having one gift over Pacquiao already. So it's 1-1.
All right, so if Lomachenko's been told by his father to go ahead and try to take Koasicha out, it'll be interesting to see which are the punches he uses, which are the combinations he chooses to try to get that done. A straight left hand, right hook. He's extremely effective with both those shots. Another straight left hand right on the chin. The accuracy is, frankly, quite stunning.
Yeah. He'll keep popping his chin for a little while till you try to get him looking for a chin shot, and rip a body shot is what he'll probably try to do.
He has a tough game fighter in front of him. And it's not in Lomachenko's nature just to go berserk.
No.
He always maintains control.
Very disciplined.
Right hook landed over the top, hard shot.
Look at Koasicha fight back.
Gutty fighter. Romulo Koasicha doing the best he can while being thoroughly outclassed by one of the most brilliant technicians in boxing, Vasyl Lomachenko. This Wednesday, the fight game returns. Join me, Max Kellerman, Bernard Hopkins, Michelle Beadle for recaps and commentary on all the recent big fights, an interview with Canelo Alvarez, and a look ahead to his upcoming showdown with Miguel Cotto. Immediately following the fight game, stick around for HBO sports documentary Kareem, Minority of One, a 90-minute film examining the life of one of the best and most intriguing players in the history of the NBA.
You gotta throw more punches. You gotta throw more punches and stay off the rope. Don't stay off the rope, mate. You're tired. Hey. One more round, yeah? Okay. One.
I don't have a CompuBox record book at my disposal here. So I don't know when is the last time we may have seen a fighter land 66% of his power punches through 8 rounds. But CompuBox so far finds Lomachenko landing 66% of his power punches.
Roll time. Go.
And now we're told that Koasicha's cornermen have told him that if he does not do better in the 9th round, after what they saw in the 7th and 8th, they'll stop the fight. Now that indicates they want Koasicha to open up a little more and take more risks against Lomachenko, and that could bring an end to the fight without them having to stop it themselves.
All right, Lomachenko will stop it instead of Koasicha's corner.
Exactly. Or he stays the way he is, doesn't take more risks, and the corner says, you're not trying.
Not that he's not trying, I mean...
Well, of course he's trying. It's the corner's judgment that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, what a body shot. Yet again.
You heard him, champ. You heard him. Let's go.
Once again, Lomachenko, I'm over here. Nope, I'm over here. And now I've got an open punching angle.
Absolute brilliant reflexes, brilliant footwork, brilliant head movement.
There's not much more you can say.
Don't push, don't push.
It's all good.
All good.
Straight left hand. Lands. Minute 17 to go in the round.
Pick him up.
Body shot was low by Lomachenko. He touches gloves with Koasicha, an acknowledgement. Good flurry by Koasicha. I'm still here.
Keep it straight.
We were talking yesterday, Max Kellerman, about catch and counter technique that Emmanuel Stewart used to teach in the Kronk Gym in Detroit.
Yeah.
Lomachenko catches and counters.
He can do it, but he can do everything. Sometimes he employs the Roy Jones strategy of they're just not going to hit anything. I'm going to move my entire head and body away with the feet. Sometimes it's in close and he lets the punch sail away, you know, harmlessly past him. Sometimes it's a catch and counter. And occasionally he gets hit, as you can see. There's blood on his face.
That's all.
Good gutty effort in that round by Koasicha. Maybe his corner will let him stay in the fight.
That's it, son. It doesn't matter if he's fast. Clean up his nose. Let's go, let's go. It's okay, it's okay. Oh, we gotta put more water on there. Come on, Romulo. Build that strength. Let's go. Stand. He didn't do anything now, huh? Don't go to the ropes. That's it. And let go of that right looping shot. Water. Don't stay still. Don't stay still. Come on, Romulo.
By the way, I mentioned that Lomachenko is trained by his father, Anatoly, and Romulo Koasicha is trained by his father, Armando. Armando Koasicha has been Romulo Koasicha's trainer since he was a little boy. I asked him yesterday, were you a fighter? No. So a non-fighter, a non-trainer who trains his son to become a fighter, and they've done reasonably well. Harold Letterman, how do you have it or not?
Okay, Jim, I got it 9-0, 90-79, Vasyl Lomachenko. You know, Jim, the referee's got an obligation to look out for the safety of the fighters. And I got to tell you, Robert Byrd should really start thinking about stopping this one because, you know, this kid could get seriously hurt. You know, we see the amount of punches that Lomachenko's landing. He's given this kid a terrible beating. I scored 2 of the rounds already, 10-8 without a knockdown. That's how bad that Vasyl Lomachenko is laying it on Koasicha. You know, it's a fight that we ought to start screaming, stop the fight, you know. I mean, it's not bad. Anyway, 9-0, Vasyl Lomachenko.
And by the way, I want to pat Harold on the back for saying Vasyl. We're all saying Vasyl now. The first 2 times we covered him, we went with the phonetic look. We called him Vasyl, And at the end of Vasyl, it is apparently customary in Ukraine, where he comes from, in Eastern European
Get off the ground.
or Eastern Europe, to add the E sound. So he pronounces his name Vasyl. That's why we're calling him Vasyl. After we were incorrect the first 2 times we covered him back in the day, more than a year ago, when we called him Vasyl.
And that's why I just called him Lomachenko.
Jim, you were mentioning
a pretty good move.
You were mentioning the fathers of the fighters earlier.
Yep.
And we notice this among the elite in boxing oftentimes. All the skill in the world and craft is great, and discipline is great, hard training. You got to have it genetically, too. Lomachenko has those fast twitch athletic muscles. The way Floyd, Pacquiao, when you talk about the elite guys in the sport, the very uppermost echelon, they're also great athletes. I know it seems as though that should go without saying, but I don't think it's always as obvious in boxing. We can talk a lot about how he's learned his way into this position, but
The body shots I told you about, Jim.
Yep.
There they are.
Some of this stuff you can't teach.
4, 5, 6.
First knockdown of the fight
7.
comes with a half-minute remaining in the 10th.
9.
And Koasicha's done.
Smart.
He doesn't want to go back and listen to his corner anymore.
No, there's no reason for this to continue. As Harold Letterman mentioned, taking a big beating.
First knockdown of Koasicha's career, first knockout of Koasicha's career, and Vasyl Lomachenko thoroughly wore him down. Roy, you were exactly correct in predicting that the body shot would ultimately produce the finish.
Yeah, a smart fighter, that's what he does, Jim. You hit him, you pitter-pat, make him get used to defending his head, catch him when he is expecting you to come to his head, and you sneak a big body shot down there. He did it against the ropes on the opposite side of us, and he just followed up because he knew the body shot hurt him.
Especially a guy with a tough beard like Koasicha. There's no such thing as a tough. I mean, you know, you hit a guy right in the body. It doesn't matter how tough they are. They got to go.
And here's another look at how Vasyl Lomachenko finished Romulo Koasicha off.
See the pitter-pat to the head and the strong to the body, Jim? Then he pat, boom, strong shot to the body again. That will take it out of you every time. He knows he's hurt, boom, goes down there again. And of course, he just couldn't take no more.
Yeah, even if he could get up from that, the end would come to the head moments later, but it's the body shot that did it.
Yeah, you see 2 head shots on a good, hard, driving left hand between the gloves to the body. Then again, boom, another good, hard body shot right down the middle. And you see Koasicha, he feels it. There's a third one, and now, right at the end, here comes this last one because he knows he's done. And
Liver
that did
shot.
it. Yes.
So another victory for Vasyl Lomachenko, stretches his early career professional record to 5-1. The one loss we've covered was the odd night against Orlando Salido, and Salido chose not to make weight, fouled him repeatedly, and wound up winning a close decision in Texas. Tonight, a KO win. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the technical knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Robert Byrd reaches the count of 10. The official time, 2 minutes, 35 seconds of round number 10. The winner by knockout victory, and still the WBO Featherweight Champion of the World, the human highlight film, Vasyl High-Tech Lomachenko.
And let's take a look at some overwhelmingly dominant CompuBox numbers for Vasyl Lomachenko. He lands 334 out of 717. That's 47% overall, while limiting Koasicha to 12% overall. You can't get more one-sided. Power punches. He lands, this is mind-blowing. I mean, frankly, that's really mind-blowing. He lands 64% of his power punches by CompuBox count in the fight, and limits Koasicha to 55 out of 346, 16%.